I'm 17 years old, love computers, and just graduated from high school. Now, I'm feeling lost and unsure about what to do next with my life. About 3 months ago, I finished high school with a 3.28 GPA. My transcript isn't super impressive. I only took one AP class, AP Computer Science A, and got an A, but didn't take the AP exam due to some issues. I also joined the marching band my senior year, but that's about it. I live in the Pacific Northwest in the US. In the past, I dreamed of being my own boss, but for now, I've realized that's not a realistic option. I've been trying to pursue a career in game development on my own, but I've failed to make progress. This has shown me that I'm really bad at motivating myself to work independently. If I don't have a deadline or someone pushing me, I just don't do it. I think this might be because I have ADHD or executive dysfunction, or maybe even depression. I haven't been officially diagnosed, but my sibling who lives elsewhere was recently diagnosed with ADHD, and others have pointed out that I share many of the same symptoms. Unfortunately, getting a diagnosis and help for mental health issues isn't an option for me right now, since I live with others who aren't supportive. So for now, I'm stuck with these challenges. The truth is, I can't make it on my own, working independently. No matter how passionate I am about my goals, I need more structure and support to succeed. After 3 unproductive months, I'm feeling really discouraged. To avoid getting kicked out, I have 2 options: attend college, a local community college, since a university is not feasible for me, or find a job. I have some work experience from my junior year, working in fast food for about a year. Getting a job seems like an easy, low-commitment choice, but it won't help me grow. So I'm leaning towards community college. However, either way, I feel like I'm just putting off the inevitable. As someone who's mainly interested in coding, I have serious doubts about the industry right now. Everyone's saying it's overcrowded and extremely tough to find a job, unless you have something that really sets you apart from others. But as I've already mentioned, I don't have confidence in my ability to stand out. Honestly, I'm not great at motivating myself with external rewards. Also, many people agree that trade schools and boot camps aren't effective for computer science. So I think my best chance is to specialize in a specific area of coding, like AI, which is still emerging. Getting a head start in this field might be my best shot at succeeding in the job market. To be honest, that's as far as my thinking has taken me. There's so much uncertainty about my future that I'm not even 30% confident in my own plans. It's really stressing me out and making me anxious. I'm scared of the real world and even college, which seems like my best option. Feels like a temporary solution while I try to figure things out. Sorry if this was a bit all over the place or rambly, but I'm really looking for guidance from people who have more life experience. Thank you in advance for any advice or support.
Story 2.
A weird thing that happened to me at a sandwich shop. This happened a few years ago, and it still bothers me sometimes, so I needed to talk about it and get it off my chest. There's a really great sandwich shop and French bakery near me. It's in the fancy part of town, so it's pretty pricey and attracts a lot of wealthy customers. The counter where you order is shaped like an L. There are 3 cash registers along the longer side of the L, with one tucked away in the corner. On the shorter side, there's a glass case displaying food. If you imagine looking down at the L from above, customers stand on the right side. Employees work on the left side, and the register at the bottom of the L is in a tight spot, almost a right angle, making it a bit tricky for customers to access. Customers usually gather in the area where the L shape forms a corner. There aren't any clear lines or signs to show where the queue starts and ends, so people kind of rely on each other to figure out who's next in line. I went into the shop to buy a baguette and some cheese for a picnic date with my girlfriend at the time. When it was my turn to order, I saw that the register in the corner was open, so I went there to place my order. I told them what I wanted, paid for it, and did everything I needed to do. As I mentioned earlier, this place is really good and really busy. It was crowded and noisy, but people know to leave some space near the counter about 4 or 5 feet so customers who have paid can step aside and wait for their food. Then, the next person in line can come up to order and pay. I thought this was just normal. After I paid, I took a tiny step back, incredibly small, just to get my bearings, so I could turn around and make my way through the crowd. I'm talking really tiny, almost not even a step at all. My foot moved maybe 6 inches, and that's being generous. It barely lifted off the ground. The issue was that there was an elderly woman wearing sandals standing right behind me, and I accidentally stepped on her bare toes. She must have been standing really close to me, closer than usual, because I only moved my foot a tiny bit. Normally, people know to keep some distance from the counter, but she was somehow in the way of my foot. But she was in the way, and she let out a loud, ear-piercing cry. Oh my, did she cry out. I had never heard such a loud and startled sound in my life. If you were just another customer in the store and didn't know what happened, you would think she was in serious distress, like she was being seriously hurt or something. Since the place was packed and pretty small, lots of people heard the commotion. Actually, everyone heard it. Before this happened, the restaurant was buzzing with the conversations of its many customers. It wasn't too loud, just a normal hum of around 100 people chatting. But when the lady let out that loud cry, the room fell silent instantly. It was like a switch had been flipped, and suddenly no one was talking. The silence was deafening. You could have heard a pin drop. If music had been playing, it would have been like a record scratching to a halt. And now all eyes are on me, accusing me of intentionally hurting this elderly woman. Her over-the-top reaction made it seem like I had done something terrible on purpose. As I apologized and walked away to wait for my order, I got many angry glares from the crowd. When I asked the woman, "I'm so sorry, are you okay?" she just scoffed at me, like I wasn't even worthy of a response. It was like I had become the worst person in the world, deserving of only contempt, and the whole restaurant, with all its hungry customers, seemed to be against me.
Story 3.
My marriage is falling apart and I'm at a loss. Hey everyone, I need some help. I'm in a tough situation and could really use some advice. I'm 31, my wife is 27, and we've been together for 9 years, married for 3. We have a 19-month-old daughter and just found out we're having another baby. But here's the problem. My wife has been saying some really hurtful things over the last few days. At first, she joked about not liking me anymore and not wanting to look at me. I thought she was just kidding, but it got worse. She started playfully hitting me and smiling. But I wasn't in the mood. I've been really stressed out lately, trying to make ends meet and provide for my family. I earn $3,000 a month, but our expenses are $2,900, so we're not saving anything. My wife quit her job to start a restaurant, but it's not doing well. I supported her decision and helped with renovations, but now we're struggling financially, with a new baby coming and our daughter needing daycare. I think we'll need an extra $8,000 in the next 4 months. The other day, my wife wanted sushi, but I only had $10 left until payday. I told her we could go, but I couldn't afford to eat with her. She got upset and said she didn't want to be around me. I tried to talk to her about it several times, but it just led to more frustration. Then, she asked me to give her the car keys so she could go get sushi alone. I lost my temper and told her to go alone, which made her cry. For the past few days, my wife hasn't spoken to me. We had a similar argument about another type of fish, but this time she said, "Are you going to take me out for fish, or do I need to ask my brother earlier?" She sent me videos about how men can hurt women and lose them forever, and even mentioned divorce. She said I'm not the man she thought I was because her female friend has been taking her out and treating her better. I feel like I've always done my best for her and our family. I borrowed money for outings, helped with our daughter, and even took a 7-year loan to buy her clothes. I feel like I've done everything I can, but it's not enough. I don't want to make my wife sound like the bad guy. She's a great mom and has been a good partner, but when she's upset, her words can be really hurtful. I've been trying to ignore it and keep the peace. Now I'm wondering if I should apologize to save our marriage or if it's time to let her go. What really scares me is losing my kids. In my country, moms usually get custody, and dads only get it if the mom remarries or moves away. I'm feeling lost and don't know what to do. Any advice would be really helpful.